All right, welcome back to our DNA. I'm Brandon Duplessis. We have David Medina and always Philip Price. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
Oh,
Awesome.
great answers. But David, you said great, pretty strong. Talk to me.
Oh, I'm just in a good mood. I went for a run today. I started working out again, going to the gym. You
Nice.
guys knew about my health problems recently, so I can't complain. Life is good when you can do things again in life.
That's dope. That's good. Well, I'm glad I see
Yep.
the smile on your face. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
David, you're back to working out. You're
Yep.
you're got a nice little pep in your step,
Yeah,
right?
I'm just trying to get back into it, trying to get good routines going and good habits back in my life because it was a weird time when I wasn't able to do anything because of my health.
No.
That's
And
always
and
a scary thing, ain't it?
Hmm.
When you can't do the things you like to do.
Yep.
You can
Especially when they're
definitely tell
healthy.
Brandon he's happy because he was when he wasn't able to be himself, he was in the mud a little bit.
yeah, I was feeling it.
It's all of us. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I think that's a key part of it is when you when you start doing certain things that fill you up and are good for you. It's like you get out you get out what you put in, right? And you're putting in good effort to take care of yourself. You're doing those things you can do. It makes you feel better. Just like,
Yep.
you know, exercise, making money, right? Work.
All those
Uh,
things, man. All
you
those
know,
things you need.
if you could find some time to be creative, even better, but
Yeah.
yeah, it makes you feel good when you're taking care of business and you know you're doing something good for yourself, right?
You know what? This actually goes into my question for the day that I had. I was thinking we talk a little bit about wellness and what routine or activity keeps you guys in good health and your mind focused in life in general.
It's a great
Ooh, that's
question.
a good one. Yeah, that's a good question. Brandon, I'm curious to hear what you say.
All
I
right.
I
Yeah.
think I know what it's going to be, but
Well, one thing that I've definitely always struggled with like my weight in the sense of
Hmm.
I was really skinny as a kid, like up until 6, I was like
Hmm.
Ethiopian skinny. I was just like I was thin,
Yeah.
and then I got bigger until I was like 9 or 10, and I was a little chunky, a
Yeah.
little chubbier, right? So high school, played basketball, college, thin again. And once I stopped playing basketball, it was like it was like I never played before. All of a sudden, a year later, I was like 100 pounds heavier, and it just hit me. So I didn't really build good habits at a young age being healthy.
Yeah.
And I think now that my kids, I'm raising my sons, I get to go to school and learn from my lessons, right? And, I've made sure that they incorporate health at a young age. So they're both, in their teens and work out and have a healthy lifestyle. So
Yeah.
it's been harder for me to create that healthy lifestyle. But one main thing that's helped me over the last few years, one has been fasting, intermittent
Hmm.
fasting.
hmm
Yeah. So it takes time to get used to it, but I can get it down to where some days I don't eat for 20 hours. I'll go from 8 o'clock at night till the next day at like 5 or 6,
Yeah.
um, to where my body's in a better burning mode. And they say when you're sick or if you're having issues, you can fast for a few days and it could help heal you. Your body
really,
starts healing itself. Yeah.
wow.
So there's a way to do it the right way. You want to make sure you're drinking lots of water, and there's different ways to do different fasting, but just intermittent fasting, just, even starting eating at
Hmm.
12 and don't eat past 8, just that itself made a big difference in like my weight and my weight control.
Yeah.
Throw on some exercise with fasting. That's when I get in really good shape. 3 days a week, 4 days a week, not even that, just 30, 45 minutes with weights
Hmm.
and fasting changes the game for me. That's
Oh,
like, so that's my first thought to your question,
Okay.
is what I've done to stay healthier. What about you, Philip?
just I think the older you get, the harder it is to stay focused on your health, but you have to keep moving. That's the one thing
Yeah.
the doctor, when you get in your 70s, the first thing the doctor says, are you moving? They don't ask how you're doing, what you're doing. Are you moving?
Are you moving?
Yes, because that's what keeps the body. And just being back at work, it really stimulates me. And I've always been blessed because I've loved what I've been doing my whole life. It's the only thing I did really is cars. And so I really enjoy that. And that keeps me young in spirit. I don't exercise as much as I should. And the good thing on Medicare and everything, they'll give you free health gym membership. You can do it all, man. They give you everything. So you got no excuse. You got no excuse. They pay for it. They want to keep you around,
Right.
But just being back at work is really, last year was the roughest year I've ever had physically. And to be back at work, I think it was more of a mental thing for me to be using my brain again, talking to people again. It made me feel 100% better. Now I got to put the gym involved in it, walking on the meal, doing some things to keep myself active,
Yeah.
I've never been one, though, that my whole career, I love telling a funny story. I paid for an executive retreat with the Mayo Clinic, spent $10,000 on it. It's a week-long process for the guy to tell me at the end, you got to exercise and eat better. 10 grand later, you going to tell me something I already knew?
I could have given you $100 and you could have called it a day. Yeah.
I went down to the Mayo Clinic in Arizona, and I'm thinking they're going to give me some new technology slogan.
Something profound, just some different.
Oh, yeah, right? And it was just, you got to you're a type A personality. You need to exercise. If you need to do this and eat better. Oh,
Nice.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Can I get my money back? I knew that when I came in here.
They gave you something new, all right. They gave you a new scam to know about.
Yeah, I was going to say we might be in the wrong business.
Yeah. Well, for the week they do everything. They put you on a treadmill. They do all kind of scans and blood work. It's more than just talking to you, but at the end he just summarized it so quickly, and I'm just looking at him like, that's it. I'm thinking he's gonna give me some miracle pill, that I take once a day that got rid of all
None
that.
of that. That's really funny.
But you got to exercise. That's what he said.
Exercise and eat well. What about you, David? What are some of your things you've been doing for yourself?
I just try to do something active every day, even if it's 30 to an hour. I go to the gym now again. Today, actually, before this, I went for a run and had dinner. I just went for a run for like 25 minutes around my neighborhood, and it helped me wake up. That's for sure. I was really tired before this after work. And, it's been helping me just, get out of this like funk that I've been in for a while, but it's also been, hard because of the health and all that. So I think I'm just glad to be doing something active again. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, it had to scare you being a young man like you are and used to being active, and then they shut you down for a minute. That had to be a little terrifying for you, because you're young, And
You've had a few terrifying moments already at such a young age, David.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. It's already been twice that I've had problems in the last like 6 months. Back in November, I think I told you guys, I had like a really small or a low amount of hemoglobin and basically almost had like heart failure back then. And then recently in January, that's when I had pericarditis, which basically, I don't know, there was some heart stuff going on essentially, and it was just not good. Not good.
But now you're back. He even sounds like himself again. He was.
It was that run. It was that run. He's feeling good. Yeah. Doing well. It makes a difference. Back up. So, actually, you bring up a good point because, like, I've been lacking some motivation waking up to work out. But today I didn't get my workout in the morning like I wanted to, and I felt a little more sluggish in the morning towards work.
Yeah.
And one of my thoughts was like, if I wake up and work out, even though I'm tired when I wake up, after the workout, I'm going to feel good, and I'll be more awake and ready to hit the phones at 7 a.m. You know, it's just to wake up at 5 or 4:30 in the morning to try to work out.
I know.
It's a lot. And then, you know, I come home and I got a family at home, and the wife hasn't seen me. And, you know, it's like, do I go and do all these extra things to improve myself with health or finance or study something? Or do I spend that hour and a half or 2 hours with my wife and kids for a little bit, you know?
That's fair.
So 5 a.m. becomes my like workout option. But this week has been hard.
That's got to be the thing, though, because you got to give your family the time too. You know,
exactly.
You really got to prioritize that. You know,
that's true.
Well, when you talk about moving too, Philip, it's like yoga. Yoga was really like when I was doing yoga a few years ago, I just felt better. You know, it's stretching, it's moving, it's core work. And it's not, you know, there's different people at different levels of yoga, of course, but just on the most basic level, it gets your body moving, it gets your body stretching. So yeah, sometimes I'll even just throw on go on YouTube, look up a yoga video, you know, get my warrior poses on. But yeah, that helps too. It helps with the breathing.
Anything that loosens your body. Anything that loosens your body. And whatever
I was also going to say, going back to what you were saying about your family and all that, you could always just make it a family activity, maybe. I don't know. Like for LA Fitness, for example, where I go, they have like a basketball court, they have a kids club. Like I know you have a little one, and then, you know, for your wife, she can join you, or she can go work out, and then you can play with the boys. I mean, they all play basketball. I don't know, just an idea. If that helps you get more fit,
that's a great idea.
You know?
It's not a bad idea. I like that.
That's a great idea.
To get everyone on the same page.
I didn't think of it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those great ideas that I'm mad I didn't think about it. You know, I mean, sometimes you can be looking right at it, but you don't see it.
But you don't see it.
And you don't understand. Then somebody says, well, why do you do that? Why don't you do this? And you go, oh, sure makes sense. That makes sense.
It does make sense. That's the benefit of groupthink.
It'll get everybody involved.
It's true.
And most of these clubs are so nice. They have little juice bars and all kinds of fun things. You can get juice afterwards and chill there for a second. I mean, they make this thing. There's no excuse but excuses, right?
Right.
It's hard to
I walk into one gym and they have like massage chairs, and the first as you walk in, you just see people relax, getting massaged, and it's kind of like, one, it's nice, but two, you're about to work out, so seeing these people relax and get massaged is kind of the opposite of what you're about to go do. That's fair. Yeah, these gyms are nice, and there is a good option. Actually, it was something small. It reminded me of it, David. It reminds me to, enjoy life. I'm reading this book, and one of the things was, find joy in the day kind of thing. And life is short, find joy in your day every day. And last Friday night after work, it was literally just my 17-year-old, myself, and my 2-year-old and my 12-year-old. So just that's a lot of people, but 5 of us. My oldest son's gone, and my wife put music on, and we just had like a dance party for like an hour. We were playing our favorite songs. Everyone's just dancing, moving, just having fun, being stupid. And like after the hour, we were like, we got a good workout in. We're all kind of like our heart rates were going.
Definitely a great workout. Dancing, use all kind of, but dancing is great exercise.
Yeah, that music gets you going. So that's
a fun way to do it.
Yeah, it's a fun way to get the family together and everyone do something. So I'm going to see if I can put that into action. Not a bad idea.
There you go.
Good
Just
job,
dance
David.
more or go for a walk or something. You never know.
Yeah, make it a family thing after work, but get everyone involved, right?
Yeah.
Definitely should do it. I think your family would enjoy it. Maybe the first time they wouldn't be excited about it, but it's a social thing now. These health clubs,
Yeah.
they're not just a place to work out like Gold's Gym back in the 50s and 60s. Where you just had weights and
Right.
people showed up, but they make it very, very. They got child care, they got everything. So you really don't have no excuses. Just making it a
Just got to find a way. I have a gym in my house. Like I bought the tonal and I have it up on my wall and I have a treadmill. So and I have Bowflex weights, the dumbbells. So I'm like, I have dumbbells, I have the tonal, I have a treadmill.
Ask me, I had that in my big house in Red Bluff. I had a whole gym, right? Ask me how many times did I use it. I had a 60-foot thing. I had a 60-foot pool. Ask me how many times did I use it.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, like when you're chasing that money, and that's what messes you up. If you're chasing work, you can give yourself all kind of excuses not to do it. That's
Right.
What if my uncle used to say, it's easy to do the wrong thing. It's hard to do the right thing.
The right thing.
He used to say that to me all the time as a kid. It's easy to do the wrong thing. It's hard to do the right thing. And of all the sayings I've ever heard, that's probably the truest one in life. Because it's hard to do the right thing. So you can give yourself all kind of reasons not to.
Yeah. And when I was, I don't know, in my 20s, probably someone told me something similar, but they said, the right choice is usually the harder choice, right? So
it's the truth.
Yeah.
Is that the gospel though? Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's hard to do the right thing. So, I mean, why did God make the easier path the wrong path?
Right.
Well,
they would almost maybe even argue that the devil made the easy path in a sense, right? Like, and God's path is going to give you a little bit more struggle, but there's a reason why he wants you to struggle and he doesn't just do it for you, right? Like, I don't just do things for my sons because I want them to have that struggle and they learn to do it themselves versus me doing it for them. So it's hard when you have, let's say, the devil, the easy path over here saying, look how easy it is for you though. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's easy. Where when you have this other lesson that's going to be something that teaches you and gives you so much growth and wisdom and experience, but it's harder, right?
It's hard.
Yeah.
And there's that delayed gratification. So, yeah.
But if you can stay with that mindset and realize I got to take the tougher road because that's going to give me more fulfillment long term.
Yeah.
The easy road don't give you fulfillment.
All right.
The shortcut I've ever taken didn't work out. You guys got about 5 hours. I can tell you all the wrong the times I did that in life, and you go, that was a dumb idea. Okay, thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
It was a dumb idea, because you look at it and you go, that's easier. I'll do it that way, and then you find out that don't work.
Yeah, and it probably costs you more at the end of it too when you look at it, or it costs you something that you learned from. But
that's true.
That's life.
That's life. That's the learning lessons that we all learn. I would tell any young person that don't take the easy road, because the easy road won't get you to fulfillment. They don't write books about people that had an easy path. It's the struggle.
True.
It's the best-selling books are not about the guy that, he never really worked hard and he's a multi-billionaire. Nobody wants to read that book. Nobody.
He had the silver spoon.
Stuck through it, made it happen. Those are the stories we all gravitate to.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to try to get him on the show. I was telling you, my buddy just ran the LA Marathon.
Oh wow!
and he's been training, and he tells me, you start off with a few miles, and before you know it, each week you're running up to 17, 20 miles, 3 days a week at least. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of effort. That's hard. But he was running and he was doing the marathon, and I think he said by like mile 15 or 13, music wasn't doing it anymore. He had to put on is it David Goggins? The
podcasts.
Yeah, I think he's the Navy SEAL.
Yeah, he's like a motivational speaker.
Motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Right. And he was just pushing him through that last like 10 miles. He's like, man, I couldn't do it just off music. I needed that
in
push,
my ear, telling me.
In my ear. Yep. But
have you guys ever hired a trainer though? Because the only time I've gotten in great shape is when I paid for it. Because the trainer, you're sitting there, he says we're going to do 200. I was doing Pilates, and you go 200 just sounds like impossible because I've never done that, right? And he says, oh, well, let's just start off with 20. Then you do the 20. He says, can you give me 10 more? And you kept doing that, and you kept going, and you kept going, and finally you hit it. You go,
more 10.
I wouldn't have done that by myself. Ain't no freaking way I would have kept going.
Yeah, there's no one push. Like you can't push yourself the same way when you're sitting side by side with your boys or your trainer or your teammates or whatever it may be. Right? It just pushes you even better. I'm definitely a team sport kind of guy. Like. I'm not wake up by myself and go run solo with no one by myself for 10 hours. That's who runs for 10 hours. But point being is I'm not a solo guy. I definitely get pushed. And I had a trainer once. I paid for it and I got in great shape. I look good. But it's commitment, right?
That's the only time I've ever done.
Yeah. They make you stay committed and they commit to you. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's funny you say that because I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like when there's other people around, I feel like I have to match their energy. Yes, and it helps, but it also like makes me dread working out because I don't like really being around other people when I work out too much. Like I really like being able to just be by myself. Like my workouts are my self-reflection time. Like that's when I really kind of do my own like inner therapy, and like today, for example, like I went for a run and I've been telling myself for weeks, I'm like, I don't want to go for a run. I don't want to be by myself. But then I finally did it because this weekend I went and bought like some new Nike shoes, Nike shorts. I'm like, this is my push. So that way I have to make this investment into running more often, at least twice a week. That's what I'm going to do it, bare minimum. So, I just started doing it and I already feel myself getting excited to do it again. I might be sore as crap right now, but as soon as I'm back, I'm going to get back into it because I used to do it a lot and it got me in really good shape, and really made me feel good. So I'm ready to do it. And I feel like I need to do it alone though, because I've also paid a trainer and that was helpful. Don't get me wrong, because it taught me how to work out, but it kind of made me dread going with him because I always knew he was going to push me more than I wanted, which is helpful if that's what you need. But for me, it's just like I need to work at my own pace.
No, I respect that, and I know when I had a workout partner that helped because we would carpool into work together, work out in the morning, or we would show up after work at the same time. But then I'd have my my earphones in or my Beats headphones at the time, and I'd just zone out, like you said. That was like kind of my time. We did the same workout together. We were in the same zone together, but like I zoned out. I had my headset on. I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to music. So I do like that reflective time too when you're working out.
Yeah.
But I definitely show up more when I have a partner. I think that's the part I noticed for sure.
I mean, knowing that you paid this money for some reason, you'll show up.
That part.
I mean, it was amazing. I don't have the discipline to work out by myself. But think about it in pro sports. Coaching makes all the difference in sports. You played sports. Is that not true or not true?
100%.
A coach can make all the difference in the world. Even though you're a first-class athlete, that extra oomph that a coach gives you gets that extra out of you.
100%.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And no, everyone successful has had some kind of coach at one point, period, if it's success in anything, right? But yeah, having a coach makes all the difference and keeps you now you got to focus on executing, right? And doing. You don't have to think about, you just have to show up. There's going to be someone there to push you. You got your teammates.
They're going to hold you accountable.
Accountable. So I want you guys to hold me accountable. I'm putting this on. At least 3 days a week, I'm working out next week or this
there
week.
You go.
Next podcast. At least minimum.
Yeah, well, but
and you
feel so much better when you do it. The problem is sticking to it. But wouldn't you agree the number one word that is tied to anything successful is being consistent?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consistent.
Yeah, I think that word connects success more than anything. Being consistent with your habits.
Yep.
And working out. That consistency is what you're talking about. You just want to be consistent with it, even if it's an hour only. But you do it 3 times a week. They say that's enough, but most people don't do it.
They don't.
Ain't
I was gonna say it's funny because one of my favorite books is Atomic Habits, and that's something I learned reading that book is 2 things. Especially when it comes to working out or any habit like that. If you want to work out every day, you go home after work, or if you're gonna do it before, whatever, maybe before you even go to work, you put on your gym clothes. That's the first thing you do, because then you're already that's one step into working out. You're already in the clothes, you want to work out, and then on top of that, once you're gonna work out. Do it for 2 minutes. And then if you continue, awesome. If you can't continue after 2 minutes, then it wasn't meant to be. It's way better saying I'm going to work out for 2 minutes and see where it goes than I'm going to go for 2 hours or 30 minutes. And that just sounds like a dread.
Right.
That's a good point. Because often you work you psych yourself out because of the 45 minutes or the hour, and you're like, man, how long is that? Right. So it's but when you think of hey, I'm just going to show up, I'm going to do 2-3 squats. And after that, and once you get there, you're going to want to do more. It's like a natural thing to want to do more. So yeah, it's a good point. I'm going to start giving myself that 5-minute window. My 5-minute workout.
Also keep your shoes right near your bed. The only way I ever did it in life is it was right at, like you said, my shorts were there. We had a chair right next to our bed. My shorts were there. My shoes were there. Didn't even think about it. Put the stuff on first. Because if you start drifting off to something else, you don't go. I mean,
that's a good point.
You got to put the shoes on, head out the door and go straight there. And even though you dread the whole ride there, you got to show up. And once you show up, you usually get the workout in, but it's showing up.
Well, I think that's another good part of showing up is the discipline to prepare, right? So the times I was consistent, I would literally have my bag for work and my workout clothes packed the night before, right? Or like you said, have the shoes and the shorts right next to the bed when you wake up. It's like what you put on, or after work, right? So preparing for success versus, failing to prepare, right? Yeah, that's good. That's a good tip.
I always wish I had the discipline, because I know people that have that discipline that they do their workout no matter what.
Right.
And they look great. They feel great. It's so easy to get into drinking and all the things that are negative instead of sticking with something that's very positive. That the endorphins is the real thing, because your mind is clear, your brain works better. Everything works better when you work out. And if you look at the most successful people, they work out. They might not be a Navy SEAL workout, but they do a workout.
I love the beginning pictures of guys say Jeff Bezos when they were before they were rich, and then as they become rich and wealthy and have more time, they're in great shape, their posture's better, they, and it's discipline. When you were talking about consistency, the one word I was thinking of was discipline, because that's
discipline and consistency is the thing you'll get it. It will.
Yeah, because those kind of come hand in hand, right? And
Yep.
that discipline makes the difference. And things that help you stay disciplined is being prepared the night before, having your game plan, maybe giving yourself that little 5-minute window to work out instead of hour, right? Those
Yeah.
different things you can do to just get better. So that's good tips. Be
There
in
you
good
go.
shape.
Would
Coming
you
up.
ever guess what did you guys think that workout centers like 24-hour fitness Center were as profitable as they are? Did you I used to
There's a
always
boom
wonder how
now.
could they make money because they only charge $20.
Oh,
And
that's what you mean. Okay.
you see what I'm saying? So I always wondered how could they support that big old building
You know
and
how it
make money.
is.
You know how
I used
you don't know
uh-huh.
the business and you go, how do they make money with that?
Someone knows the business a little bit.
Yeah, I
David.
used to work at LA Fitness, so I kind of understand the logistics of that. I mean, think about it. You're gonna have maybe, I don't know, 10 people sign up a day if that's a small gym or whatever, and all out of all those people, maybe two of them show up regularly, maybe one. So you're just getting payments after payments, and there's people that are spending all this money on gyms, but they're not actually
Not showing
consistent
up.
with it. So you're not making it worthwhile. But the gym is those are their favorite people. Don't get me wrong; they bring stuff in, and they want you to like come in more because they want to look like they're busy. They want to look like they're, actually going to help you because it's all part of that. But at the end of the day, you're paying a subscription. So no matter what, they're getting money. They don't actually care.
Well,
It's true.
a friend of mine owns 7 of them. No, 11 of them. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Planet Fitness,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's an ex car dealer. And we were at lunch, and I go, "What kind of money can you make with a fitness center?" He says, "Phil."
Yeah.
He says 10,000 people are signed at my biggest club. 10,000 a
Yep.
month pay subscription, and he says, but only 1,000 show up.
Yep.
Or 2,000.
Yep.
There's a lot of revenue because people will just keep paying their gym membership because they keep saying, next week I'll go. Or next
Yeah.
week I'll go.
Yep.
Right?
Or it's on auto pay and they don't even pay
Yep.
attention to their
They
account.
don't
They
even
just
pay
know it's being
attention to it.
charged.
They don't even know it's coming out of their check.
Right.
And I go, really? It's like that? He says, Phil, the smallest gym he had, I think he had like 7,000 members, that have signed up. And he says,
Yep.
I think it keeps on going. And I just, when you don't know a business and you think, how do they make it? I mean, but there's the method to all the madness, ain't it? And the guys that are in it know how to make it work.
It's funny. I've seen so many people not be consistent. I once brought on board somebody that was a bigger dude, and he told us that if he was a guy with wealth, so he didn't care. He just gave us his card. He didn't even bother like trying to hustle or anything, or hassle. I mean, or haggle anything. He just bought the best normal general deal, and then he basically walked away. But before all that, he told us about like why he's joining, and it wasn't to get fit or anything. He was making a bet with his uncle to lose 20 pounds, and if he lost those 20 pounds, he'd get a brand new, what was it, a Lamborghini or something like that from his rich uncle. And he was like, I already have like a Rolls Royce, but like that Lamborghini sounds nice, and I could easily lose 20 pounds if I'm just consistent. Never saw him again. I worked there for a few months, maybe like 4 or 5 months. Never saw that dude again. He paid his membership. He's still probably paying to this day.
Probably
Never saw him again.
I mean, especially if he's driving a Rolls Royce, he ain't looking at that 30, 25. What is it, 25.95 or 24.95? Come on, he ain't even looking.
He ain't worried about that.
So that's
things people do.
Yeah.
What do they say? It's like, I'm gonna butcher it, but kind of like if you want to make $1 million, help 1 million people, or like make help 100,000 people. Like the more people you help, the more money you'll make, right? So it's like these gyms or have hundreds of, depending on how many locations, 9 locations, he probably has 100,000 people or more he's helping that are all paying him $30 to $50 or more a month.
A month.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot. He sold them finally His name was Milt Oldham. He sold them to a guy that has, I think the guy has 5,000 of them, and he wants to control the whole thing. And he paid him like 60 mil, 50 mil to buy off his 11 Planet Fitness things.
Really?
And, yeah, we gotta start investing.
Yeah, let's go open up some gyms, guys.
Time's coming.
I'm with it.
Yeah, his son was the one that talked him into it. He said, "Phil, I got in because my son wanted to get in." And he says
Really?
it's the best decision he ever made because, left the
Easy
family.
revenue.
Great revenue. But now I understand. But at first, I never could figure out how they made money. This is $20, just like a dollar store. You wouldn't think a dollar store made no money to me.
Mm.
But they're so profitable. It's crazy. They're paying 20 cents for that stuff.
It's a good profit.
Wow. People
Good
willing
profit.
to
Yeah. I just would never think a dollar store. Somebody came to me and not knowing the business said, "You want to open up a dollar store?" I'm like, "No, thank you. I don't want to sell dollars." But you can make money doing it.
buy. Yep.
80% return on investment.
I mean,
That's
You buy pallets of that stuff, and it's all old stuff that they rekindle and sell. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Some Temu stuff.
Yeah, Timo, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? For this week, it's almost 8:00, so we got to do our thing, boys. But for this week, the key word discipline. That's
This one.
I would agree.
Discipline.
That is the word, and that's what we all need. I
Yeah,
need
a
the
little bit.
discipline to get my lazy butt up and go to the gym and just walk on the treadmill.
You
So
guys
I'm gonna
got this.
challenge myself to do that too, because I just, I want my senior years to be enjoyable years, and the only way you can do that is have your health. Because
Yeah.
losing your health
And-
is the first thing,
And maybe for you, Philip, maybe there's like literally, not that it has to be senior, but senior events of workout class, like certain
Oh, they
things
do.
that,
They have all
Cycling
that.
classes.
Yes,
and
they
you're
have all that.
meeting all kinds of people in your age group and your lane,
Right.
your
Right.
speed, everyone's
Right.
showing up. And just like
But
when I was,
but you still got to show up, Brandon.
right, when you start,
You got to get in
well, that's why and get up.
You got to get up, get in your car, drive over there. It's good to talk about it, but doing it is another story.
Well, that's why I say, because if there's a group of people that you start meeting
Yes.
and they're like, "Oh, you coming this week, Philip?"
Yeah.
It starts to create a little club. I'm gonna figure it out too. But for now, I'm gonna get my butt up and work out, even if it's for 5
That's
minutes
good,
on
guys.
my treadmill in the morning.
Amen. Let's all do it. Well, in 2 weeks. Let's see who actually has done something.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
So-
track. Track yourself.
Because if I don't do anything, I'm gonna be honest.
Weekly
and say I
check-in,
didn't do
guys.
anything, but
Yeah,
let's see if any
accountability.
of us do. That would be a great test for all of us, right?
Accountability.
And we got
That's right.
3 different generations. Let's see if any of us stick to it. Okay.
We're gonna be coming all ripped.
I need that.
Turn this into a fitness channel. All right,
Oh,
boys.
that's great.
Hey, we'll say good night to you guys.
Yeah,
'Cause
good
I'm gonna have
talk.
to run. All right.
Everyone
I'll
listening,
talk to you guys
have
next week.
a great day and even better tomorrow.